So Tom, there are a number of different retirement income strategies that are being used today. And I can think of no better advocate for the flooring approach than you. And I think you have some very strong feelings about systematic withdrawal approaches and other approaches that don't involve guaranteed income of some sort. So go ahead. Let's hear.
Well, David,
your
I mean,
case.
I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you the mathematical, scientific, and economic facts. You cannot retire properly without having some form of an annuity in your portfolio. I mean, those are just the facts. And here's why. There are a lot of risks in retirement. There's market risk, there's order of return risk, there's inflation, there's deflation, you might need long-term care, you might die. There's a lot of risks in retirement. But there's only one number one risk in retirement. The number one risk in retirement is longevity risk. And here's why. Because longevity is not just a risk. It's a risk multiplier of all those other risks. Now, what am I talking about? Well, if you retire at age 65 and 3 years later you drop dead at age 68, does it matter if the market went down 3,000 points? Nope. Does it matter if you were drawing 10% a year? Nope. Does it matter if you forgot to buy a long-term care policy? Nope. It doesn't matter, you didn't live long enough. But if you live to be 85, 90, or 95, it's all those other risks that can wipe you out. So what math and science says is you have to take longevity risk off the table. That's why you have to use a flooring approach. See, stocks can't take longevity risk off the table. Managed money can't take longevity risk off the table. Bonds can't take longevity risk off the table. Only some form of an annuity, a lifetime income annuity, or a deferred lifetime income annuity, which we could call a longevity insurance, or an income benefit rider off a variable annuity or fixed annuity. That's it. But they're all tied to an annuity, and here's why. Because only a life insurance company can write an annuity. Why? Because a life insurance policy issues life insurance. See, the risk when an agent writes a life insurance policy is that somebody dies too soon. The risk when they sell a lifetime income annuity is that somebody lives too long. Because the insurance companies on both sides of that risk, they can neutralize longevity risk to themselves and to the client. Let me explain it this way. I spoke last year in Singapore for the $1 Million Roundtable, and I got interviewed by Asia Insurance Review, and they said, Tom, we've reviewed all your material, and we're very concerned about U.S. life insurance companies that guarantee lifetime income. I said, really? They said, yes. We believe that medical technology is developing so rapidly that people are going to live to be 100, 120, 150 years of age, and if you're guaranteeing paychecks for life, you're all going to go broke. And I just smiled and I said, you got it half right. You're right. We will be paying a lot of lifetime income, but we won't be paying any death claims. See, because we're on both sides of that risk, we're the only industry in the world that can take longevity risk off the table. See, stocks don't know when you're going to die. Bonds don't know when you're going to die. CDs don't know when you're going to die. But essentially, a lifetime income annuity does, because it pays you a guaranteed paycheck until the day that you die. See, if you don't follow my strategy, let's say and the strategy is very simple. You got to cover their basic expenses with guaranteed lifetime income. Now, what counts? Social Security counts. Social Security is a lifetime income annuity. Pension counts. It's a lifetime income annuity. But whatever that shortfall for covering their basic expenses needs to be covered with a lifetime income annuity. That is not a place for stocks or bonds or withdrawal plans or anything. It's got to be a lifetime income annuity, because none of those other products can guarantee you a paycheck for life. If you look at all the stock Monte Carlo simulations, you look at any one of those plans, on the bottom in small print, it'll say something like this. We've run 10,000 Monte Carlo simulations, and there's a 77% chance your money will last you to age 90. What would happen to every one of those Monte Carlo simulations if people do live to be 110, 120, 130? Not one of those Monte Carlo simulations will stand up. Not one. As far as laddered bonds, what would laddered bonds do if we stay in a zero interest rate environment like Japan for 25 years? Bond ladders will not work. Stock withdrawal plans will not work. You have to use some form of an annuity. Now, the second phase, once you cover the basic expenses with guaranteed income, you want to optimize the rest of the portfolio. That's where stocks fit. That's where bonds fit. That's where commodities fit. That's where real estate fit. That's where gold and silver and oil, because I say you've got to optimize with inflation in mind. And here's why. If you cover their basic expenses with guaranteed income, guess what you did? You took a lot of risks off the table. You took longevity risk off the table because it's guaranteed paycheck for life. You took market risk off the table because there is no market risk. You took deflation risk off the table because if your paycheck stays the same and expenses actually go down, it's one of the best investments to hold in a deflationary environment, which we could very well be facing for the next 15 or 20 years, believe it or not, and that's a whole other economic commentary we could have. But it also takes off order of return risk and withdrawal rate risk. So what are the remaining risks? Long-term care. We said you got to have a plan for long-term care. You might die. That's what life insurance does. The remaining risk is inflation. So I say the rest of this needs to be optimized with inflation in mind. It should be inflation sensitive because you got their basic expenses covered. If there's no inflation, there's no problem. So if there's inflation, you want this to go up. And when this goes up, they take profits, they buy more income. Markets go up and down, take profits. So you ladder their income in retirement. But you have to use some form of an annuity. I will not ever back down on that because that's a mathematical, scientific, and economic fact. It was proven by Menachem Yari back in the 1960s. He proved, Dr. Menachem Yari proved, that only a lifetime income annuity can optimize income over the indefinite period of a human life. See, here's the problem. You don't know when you're going to die. The clients don't know when they're going to die. But guess what? The insurance companies know. The insurance companies know when you're going to die and the clients are going to die. Now, they don't know when each one of you is going to die. That would be Brooklyn life, right? No, but they do know how long, a whole group of people is going to live. And because of that, they can pay each and every person as though they knew exactly when they were going to die. Only a lifetime income annuity can do that.
And surprisingly, I've actually thought of a couple other reasons why annuities make sense, including people sleeping better at night.
Peace of mind.
Simplicity.
Simple.
The check is coming. What do you think of... you were talking about inflation, using your other portfolio to deal with inflation. What do you think of annuity products that build in inflation?
I love it, and math and science would show that people should take advantage of inflation-protected lifetime income annuities, but here's the problem. Only 4% do. 96% of all lifetime income annuities, SPIAs, have no inflation protection. So whether I think they're good, you think they're good, the people don't buy it, and here's why. The agent runs the illustration. Here's the regular one. And here's one with 5% inflation. Now it goes like this, and eventually it'll be much higher. But the person looks at it and they go, well, heck, it's like 10, 12 years from now. I don't think I'm living that long. I'll just take that regular one right there. And they all buy the regular one. They don't buy the inflation. So that's why I say if they don't take the inflation-protected income, then you've got to optimize with inflation in mind. That's the one that if they could buy it, if they all will buy it, I'm all for it. But the numbers show they don't.
This video was made possible by the New York Life Center for Retirement Income.